In the 1970s, the Republicans used family values to leverage social issues against a lack of governing policy. Seems like we're returning to that. In a wave that got Ronal Reagan elected, people like Phyllis Schlafly fought against the women's lib movement and abortion. Anita Bryant fought against the gay community to protect our children. We now are seeing those exact same arguments as the Oklahoma governor signs a bill today making all abortion felonies if you perform one. Did you hear what I just said? And Florida and other states are pushing for Don't Say Gay. 19 states are coming behind Florida, and much worse. Our hot topic headline of the week is 1970s traditional family values playbook seems to be revived by the GOP against who? The LGBTQ community. What do y'all think about what we're watching?
I mean, it's history repeating. Traditional values are the traditional lies. And the thing is that we like to think that we overcame it, but in the 70s, they worked. You know, Anita Bryant's campaign down here in Florida, it worked. And it took decades before we were able to turn it back. And repackaged, it could work on another generation in select states, and enough to keep us from, at a minimum, progressing overall, and definitely setting us back in individual states.
And it's always on the heels of an era of freedom and openness. You know, the 60s was that era. And so it was a reaction to that. And so we had, look at what we had with Barack.
I think that's an
marriage,
awesome observation.
Marriage, et cetera, adoption, all those things we gained and achieved. And now there's a backlash.
You know, I just want to take a highlighter to Dale's point of the 70s family value playbook was a reaction to the excess, as they define it, of the 1960s: drugs, sex,
freedom,
music, freedom.
Expression.
Hard for me to relate. Very hard for me to relate.
I'm sure. What's interesting about that is the number one argument that I hear now in many circles, even in the gay community, I'm saying gay very specifically, is that we've gone too far on trans, and that our identification and step up and standing up for the trans community has inflamed so many people, and that they say it's pushed us too far, too fast, and that a big portion of the anti-LGBTQ backlash that we're getting is because of our community and Democrats and Joe Biden as president pushing the trans agenda too hard. Now, in my opinion, that's ridiculous. But they argue that over and over again. And if there is the top argument I hear in LGBTQ+, it's that argument. Why are we pushing trans so hard?
Well, the trans agenda is the human agenda. At its core, it is the human agenda. And I remember back in 1993 when they were like, okay, we're going to let LGBTQ serve openly in the military. And everyone was like, oh, no, that's too far. That's too much. And we ended up with that wretched little don't ask, don't tell that was with us for 20 years. Yeah. So, no, if you go all in. That's what I'm saying. Go all in, or else you're going to end up with don't ask, don't tell like policies for decades to come.
I think we have to remember that the trans issue is the gay issue of our generation. Okay, when we were coming out back in I came out. I was 18 years old in the 90s, and. Okay.
1890s? Or?
Well,
your
math is hard. Your math is
I didn't think anybody here could do math. I didn't think these guys were smart enough to do math.
Let me point out how badly that joke laughed, because I heard the director off stage laugh.
So the point I'm making is, back when we were growing up and we were coming out and we were dealing with our own sexuality, gay was not easy. Gay was really difficult. And
it was hidden.
It was hidden, and it was in Yiddish there's a word called shanda, which meant it was just not. It was a disgrace. And today it's the trans issue. We're now comfortable with being gay. We're now walking in the streets. I tell everybody I'm gay, and if you don't like it, get the F out of my way. I don't care. But that's not the case for trans. They can't hide. We can still, even today, we can hide. Yeah. They can't hide. If they want to identify,
you can't hide so much.
You can't.
They tell me that. But if they want to be who they are, if they want to be themselves, they can't hide that
Well,
fact.
and it's our
That's true.
opportunity
It's true,
for the
Mark.
rest of the letters and the acronym to come together and unify for
Do
the
we have too many?
transition,
Do we have too many
Will-
letters, Faye?
No, we'll never have too many letters. I don't care if it's freaking 24 letters, as long as everybody's included.
Will we do that to the observation?
We have
and
to, because we're
challenge?
getting to the point where we're going to end up losing our marital rights now.
No, but
if
as
we
Al's
don't-
point,
I
I think to Al's point, Al's making a very relevant point here. Are we going so far with every letter included, and I'm not saying don't include them. I'm saying, though, we all should just understand that we're included, but at some point, do we do so much alienation that we do destruction
Do
to
you
the
feel that
better
way
good?
because you're a white gay man? Do you feel that way because you're a white gay
First
man
of all,
and you're
who
allowed
said-
to go in anywhere you want?
How do you
Nobody-
know I'm white? Okay, that's first of all.
Anybody who says that, oh, it's because we're pushing the trans agenda that they wouldn't be coming after us, they're just kidding themselves. If you think they weren't going to go after marriage equality, if you thought they weren't going to go after, baking the cake or things like that, no, it was always going to happen. So don't hide behind.
But we have
trans
people
issue and
with
say that
us.
it's
We
not.
have people with us on the baking the cake. But a lot of people identify and say, no, we deserve to have our cake, okay? As a metaphor for the entire cause. We have that in our pocket. And I wonder at some point if we just have to tread a little tiny bit
No, we keep
easier.
on fighting even more forceful, with more power, with everybody united to do so.
Last thought related to that. Are we willing to potentially, in terms of losing the House, maybe losing the Senate, maybe losing 24, are we willing to go down in flames because we said, but we're all
And we
in?
could.
Well,
Are
the
we
House,
willing?
The House was lost in the 2020
No,
election.
don't
No, that's not
don't
his point.
divert
That's not
don't
his
divert
point.
my question. My question is specifically
greater good
Faye-
accomplished?
right. Faye's point is heard loud and clear. We must. I'm asking, are we willing, is our community willing to stand up and say, we're so committed to this, even if we go down in flames, we're still going to commit to this because it's the right thing to do?
I believe in our community, and I believe that people will see that their marriage rights are in jeopardy, and then they will finally stand up.
No, we will always stand up, Faye. We always know who we are. We're comfortable with who we are, and we'll stand up for who we are. The question is whether or not at some point those rights, those legal rights, can be rescinded from us because
could.
the House or the Senate,
They
go
could-
into power,
I don't know if it's
and all of a sudden
Massachusetts.
they
Some other
have
state
that
wants
right.
wants to turn all gay marriage into common
Tennessee.
law, into common law
Tennessee.
marriages.
Tennessee, not
Yeah, I
Massachusetts.
told my
Not
wife yesterday,
Massachusetts.
you might end up being my roommate. What the hell? Like, no way.
Yeah, Tennessee. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Laura are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus